Okay, I'm going to do another live stream, and let me check my audio and on my stream before I go on, if I forget. Okay, good audio. Okay, so what's that? It's not me like usual. Well, that is my camera one that's usually aimed at me, aimed outside. It's being my security camera right now because the Note camera 2 that I've been using is my security camera. I've been trying to get my videos off of it, and via SSH, remote connection, and got it up here. I got the endoscope turned on here. I don't have any other camera really to use right now. The other one's up in the window, and this one, camera 2. I have that old USB camera that I used the other day, but it's just such an old 320 by something resolution. I have two old ones. One's 640, but neither one of them's very good. So anyway, I thought I would just use that because all I really need to show is what's going on with that as I do it. And what I'm going to do is, let's see. I'm trying to think of how. I've got it setting up over to the right of me where I can just reach it, but to actually do things, I need it somewhere. I need it right here in front of me, but I don't know if last time I tried that it was a nightmare. I'm trying to think how to do that. I've been spending for 30. I think I've probably spent 40 minutes. I might have spent an hour getting the audio all set up right. I was having trouble with that, and then so it made me end up really not planning ahead enough for the video shots. So anyway, that's how it goes. What I need to do is hook up the USB cable to it, and I'm going to try. Before I go to the trouble, I've showed this before, and you can see how I have it mounted. This is how I keep it most of the time. I try not to take it out if I don't have to. I have it mounted in this giant paper clip on a stick, which clips into a mic clip on my mic, one of my mic stand. I have a couple, but I think I've only got one. Well, it's half broke now again, and I can't. This is at such a weird angle. I can't. Oh no, it went to sleep. I can't I can't think to get it straight. So I'm pulling all the wrong cables. Let's see. Oh, that cable is not actually going to reach. I've got it plugged into the computer. Well, it won't really reach over there. Okay. I think I'll get the camera down and put all this right here in front of me. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and do it and make some bad video while I'm at it, because I don't really have another good way to do it. The last time I did this, let's see. Here we go. Oh. Okay, so if I turn it this way, maybe I can actually do it right here. Not sure why I didn't do this last time. Somehow I remembered I didn't have any way to set the phone on the. I thought I didn't have any way hardly at all to set the phone on the tripod on my. Is that the end where it goes? Yeah. So I'm going to plug it up to the USB, and the other end is already plugged into the computer. Well, that woke it up. Let's see. Oh, that's really weird. Because that makes it look right side up, and it's at a weird angle to me to where I can't see. You can keep twisting on this cable until it gets better, but it's also in a place to where it could knock things off of the whole world here. So all my stuff up there. So let me get this thing unlocked, and all right, now I don't have the light on, do I? No, that's not the light on the endoscope. That's the light on the ceiling doing that. Can't turn that off. Okay, so anyway, what you have to do, this is what I remember being able to do this with these cameras. And so I'm going to go into this. I went into the settings, and I'm going to go into the normal settings, and then page on down to now I've already turned on developer options. This is pretty common with these Android phones. This is Alcatel A845L phones. I have 3 of them, and it's running Android 4.3, so it's pretty old now, but that's a whole nother thing I would like to do if I could ever get time to do it, but to get around to it is to try to put a new, put a custom ROM on it so I can get a newer version of Android. Maybe I don't know if I can run the newest on this processor. I think it's an A6, but at least something 5.5 or something like that. But let's see, where is that section? There it is, developer options. Did I hit it? Yep. So I'm just looking at the preview to read it, which is pretty kind of funky, but I'm doing it. And I don't want to take it out of this because it's such a pain. Looks like I have USB debugging turned on already, which I forgot to turn it off last time. That'll make you use more battery. Let's see. Stay awake is turned on. My rubber bands sometimes really make it impossible to see what's going on. Sometimes you really have to at least move them. We got to watch out. You'll activate something. What did I just activate? Heard it click. I don't know what I did. Okay. I didn't have protect SD card turned on. Let's see. Desktop backup password. I hope I didn't mess that up. See, that's at the top. Okay, if I can just get that. Oh, I see what it's hitting the button down there at the bottom. Doesn't seem to be doing anything, but I'm not good at this anyway. Protect SD card. No, I don't want that on. The SD debugging, which I was going to turn on, it's already turned on. Sorry. So, allow mock locations. Select the debugging app. Okay. Dang it. Now what did I do? I made it say allow mock locations. I don't want that. I don't want to. All I want to do is move it. And get out of that. Since I heard it clicking in that area, I wanted to see what that had done. I hate touchscreens with a green and purple passion. I cannot do them, especially like this. I have just about as much trouble when I'm looking straight at the phone. Well, see, I can read this like this. It's actually helpful having it, except for this problem. Well, of course, I know I'm making a world of trouble for myself. I guess if I rolled that rubber band almost off the corner down there, and I guess if I go ahead and let it, no, that's not even helping. It's not down there where I'm having trouble. It's up towards the top. I just didn't realize it. So the allow mock. Okay. don't want that on. I don't want that on. Doesn't matter in this screen where you touch it. If you touch it on those words or down there where the check is or anything, it does it. So there's no safe place to. If you accidentally touch it, I'm a millisecond too long. And all I'm trying to do is just page it. It does it. Yeah, I don't know about selecting debugging in my app. I don't even know what. I'm not doing real debugging, so I don't even know what apps you use or anything. Don't want to verify. Let's see. Check the apps. Yeah, if you want to install apps, it'll stop you. So what it'll do. I've tried playing with some of this stuff. Show touches. No, actually, this does that. It's not turned on, but it does it. Maybe it does it even more somehow. Corner location, screen overlay allowing curve. Okay, that's not something I want. So surface updates. No, I don't want that. I'm not trying to add things. I'm just trying to, I'm not trying to turn on a whole bunch of junk. I'm trying to do it with my left hand, but I used to be really good with my left hand. I used to could write with my left hand, but I'm not so good with either one of them anymore. Okay, show layout bounds. Window animation scale. Animation duration. Animation duration. Is that a Disney name? Let's see. Simulate secondary displays. See, it doesn't want to go back down now, and if I touch it too much, it'll turn something on. Pretty sure there's not anything. I don't think there's a check under that. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, now force GPU rendering. No. Show GPU view update. Show hardware layers. What I remember, there's really only two things to check, and that's what I already had checked that I want. Okay, now let's move the whole thing so don't keep activities. About any of that anyway. Okay, so let's see if we can. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I want to accidentally brought down that. So what do we got? Yeah, USB is connected. USB debugging connected. Oh, you know what? I think you have to click on those. It's touch to show other USB options. That's probably why I couldn't. See, I was trying. The whole point is I want to. Touch to disable. Oh, okay. So actually, the second to the bottom one there, if I can get my finger over it, that's going to be tough. Oh, it's actually above. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Well, I'm not out of that screen yet. Let's get out of that right now because I want to make sure I get out of this screen first. I don't want to mess anything up. That accident actually may be a happy accident. Because that is where you go. Now I see that. I think that's the missing link to why. Trying to get. Let me get back through all this, and then I'll try to go into it. USB debugging. Don't want to revoke USB. Protect SD card. No, we don't want to do that. Stay awake. That we never sleep while charging. Oh, okay. That's fine. Yeah, that'll be good for. That'll keep it awake while I'm trying to do my work. Okay. There we go. Desktop backup password. Full desktop backups aren't currently protected. You know, that's good. I don't want them protected. Get a drink here. Now that I've got a, oops, let's leave that where it is. I started messing around with the cable. I wanted a drink, and the cable was setting on my cup, my water cup. Okay. Now, keep the light over that instead of over my screen. Okay. If I can bring that back down. Okay, USB connected. Okay, before we touch that button, touch to show you other USB options. No, let's go ahead and do that. USB, this is it. This is the stupidest thing. Why didn't this in there with all that? Now, you can't do all of this unless you have the USB debugging enabled. That's my whole point. USB mass storage. Select to copy files from your storage device to the computer and vice versa. Media device, MTP. I don't know if it'll roll page up and down. No, it won't page up and down. Now that's the one. You notice none of them are checked. And I keep thinking I can use my mouse because I can see it on my screen. Because I'm used to using remote. I used to always use remote connection, remote desktop or phone top connections, like I always like to call them. But they got to where they won't work. It's really weird because they used to work pretty well with TeamViewer, and it got to where there was so much lag in it that you couldn't use it. And there was another one I used to use before that called My Phone Explorer, but you had to run its client app in a Windows. So I had it set up in my Windows XP virtual machine, but it never did work very well, and it got worse over time. I guess I keep adding to the software and gets it more, using too much bandwidth, And so anyway, let's see if we see anything. Okay, see that now. See, that's the only thing that's mounted. Now I'll go ahead and I'm not on the desktop. You get on the desktop. Okay, now I'm going to leave that screen like it is because I want to show you what the problem is and what I'm going to and how I'm going to get it to work. Okay, now see that just says USB driver, and that is for Windows, so I don't need that. I'm going to say open. I went right click because I wasn't sure if double clicking it would try to execute it. And what you'll see is this folder for the driver. See the auto run INF and the driver files. That's all for Windows, so that you can connect your phone to a Windows system. Well, that's not going to work in Fedora 29, Fedora Linux, whatever. This is Fedora 28. I was going to say 29, but that's what my server is. But let's see what it looks like in Crusader, which is a file manager I like to use anyway. It's not, wait, is that it? Yeah, USB driver. See, it's showing up right there like that. And we can go there and see that, but that's not what we need. Now let me go back to that USB endoscope. Now that would be to make it, anyway, the default is to make it an MPT device. And you see, that's all I'm seeing. I don't want it to be, it's not, the light's really giving me trouble here. See if I can shadow it or something. I don't know what happened. I was seeing it better a minute ago. But, here, hold that. Okay. Select to copy files from your storage device to the computer and vice versa. The other one lets you transfer media files. And I can't see it all because of the rubber bands. Windows system or using, on a Windows system using Android stuff. And then the camera, photo, lets you copy photos. So I want the top one. And I'll have to I actually need that. Let's see. my left hand is the only one I can get in there and still see. There we go. Now hopefully that will, I don't think you can check more than one thing at a time. You might be able to. But if you're going to be able to copy files, period, then that'll get media or any other kind of files. Now, let's, how do you make it? Oh, I'm going to hit the middle one. Not, if I hit the back button, it might turn that off again. Could have been. I've always had trouble with it, getting it turned on right to do what I want it to do. Remember that. So I'm trying to be really careful. Now, let's see if we end up seeing another. There it is, 59 gigabyte USB device, VFAT. I've formatted it. It's formatted FAT32. Look at there. This is what I've been. The last several times I tried to do this, I forgot how to do it. I remembered to go into the USB debugging and turn that on. And I'm almost certain that you can't. You won't get that. You won't get that full menu. You won't get the file transfer menu if you don't have USB debugging turned on. And I didn't say at the beginning there, at the very beginning there, where it tells you about your phone. And I stopped short of explaining that. You tap that 5 times, 7 times, or something. Just start tapping it until it pops up and says, "Okay, now you can have you can be a debugger. You have debugger rights." You know. This is, you know, a lot easier for me, and since I have my phone all wrapped up in rubber bands and everything to make it go in my tripod, well, in this case, this one actually goes in my mic stand. So I don't want to, I don't like to. That's how come I get behind on my backing up, because I don't like to take it out. So, wonder if this thing would. Let's see if this will set up there. I don't know if it will. It'll set up there. I just don't know if it'll sit up there in a good way. Okay, so I'm fixing to get started. Oh, it mounted it. What do you want to do? Open. I've already got Crusader open and already been looking at it. So yeah, it saw it and it was asking me what I wanted to do, and I wasn't paying any attention. But yeah, I just set that up there. Of course, now it's in a weird position. I can't turn it the way I was a while ago because of the. In case any, I just thought I wanted it up there in case any messages come up. It's upside down, but I don't know if it's worth the trouble here. Oops, that's about to fall off the back. That actually made it more visible, though, didn't it? It's getting. Now I've done something I didn't want to do. I heard it click. Tried to bring up the menu from the bottom. Well, I think I better quit messing with it. I'm trying to do something that's not necessary. At least if anything happens, I can go to that view and glance at it. We can glance at it, at least upside down or catty corner. Okay, back to the desktop. All right, now this is a straight wire instead of over. See, I don't care what app I use. I reviewed my old videos on trying to do this because I knew I'd been trying to do it every which way in the last. Actually, one of the videos I was looking at today was from 2018. Well, it was 7 months ago. It was in December of 2018. But I was trying. I kept thinking, I wonder if it would work in Crusader on my Fedora 14 system. Well, I found one where I was doing that. I knew I had done it, and it didn't work. So I think what I'll do, since I'm always used to having my backup drive on the left side in Crusader, this will be. I'll put it. I made them both. I clicked on the equal, and that makes them both on the same. So I was also thinking about using. Now these are all the videos I'm needing to back up, and I'll just go ahead and back up the whole thing because there's not that much stuff in the other folders. But I was thinking about doing it with Lucky Backup, but that means setting up profiles and stuff because I changed those profiles. Well, I've actually never made one to do it over USB like this, I don't think. So let's just go with, the thing I wanted to try, and I'll show, let's see if we can show the problem I've been having. Let's make sure. Okay, we're on the Seagate backup drive. Dawn camera 2. Starting SD card. Open camera. Now I've been trying to back it up over SSH. Let's see if I've got any. No, I don't have any. I think I might have already deleted them. You'll end up with zero. I end up with 0-byte files. Yeah, okay, so it's organized with the smallest files on top. So I'm going to look in each one of these folders and see. 0-byte files. These programs are not. It's hanging it up. It's not overriding. I don't know why. I haven't been having trouble with these security camera recordings because they're all small. You know, they're from a few megabytes to 20, 30 megabytes. There's a lot in there. So let's see. Yeah, 40 is the biggest. 43.5 kilobytes. It probably is won't play. Anything that small I've noticed doesn't play, or if it does, it's just a blink. But those are not the ones I'm having trouble with. I've been able to back them up just fine. It's these big video files. So I've already manually deleted the 0-byte files. So let's, I guess we'll go by name because I don't see how I'm going to, the date. Well, let's go by date first. Yeah, okay. 155. Let's see. I think let's just go ahead and do a compare. And I'm not going to compare by content unless I have to. I can do that if it doesn't want to write over the. What I've also noticed is it won't overwrite the ones that are 0 bytes. It's not even overwriting the ones that are smaller, or it wasn't. Lucky Backup wasn't. I caught it doing that, and I didn't think it ever did that. And I decided that I don't think it does in a normal hard drive to hard drive write, and probably not over USB. I'm thinking, and kind of hoping too. But over SSH, it's been doing that. I don't know why. And not only does it do that in have that problem in Lucky Backup, but I had that problem in Crusader. I tried it in FileZilla, had the same problem. So I think it's something about SSH that I never noticed before, or something that started happening that didn't used to happen. I don't know. I'm talking. Okay, I'm going to do compare. Okay, now there are several files here. They're blue, and see there's nothing on the left, so that means they don't exist. But what I'm wondering is, are these files that show up in the black like they don't need synchronizing, are they really and truly? Well, they show, I can see the size there, they show to be the same size. And here, let's see, 165236. I think it might be, me finding a file in a long list like that is almost impossible unless they're ordered the same. And like I was trying to look up here, I'm going to hit. I don't want to start that right now because that's pretty big files, and I want to see if I'm getting the comparisons that I expect. 144458. I'm just looking at the last. I guess I should look at the date. That'll help me get there. 2019-0524. Yeah, that'll help me get there. That's 2016. Yeah, see, that's when I bought that's when I bought these cameras. So I've had it 16, 17, 18, 19, 3 years. And I've always been, I started, always been backing them up to these same folders. So 2019, 05, 24. There's 05, 24. 114458. I think it's right above there. Okay. Now, and it's 110 megabytes, 110, and then 124249. It's not in the same order. There's one. Yeah, it looks like there's one that 396. Yeah, any of the bigger files are not there. You can kind of glance through there and see anything. Looks like anything over a gigabyte. No, there's. Oh yeah. So from here on down, you don't see any files on the left side that are. Well, there's a 1.7 gigabyte. There's a 2.1 gigabyte. But I think I copied that from my. Actually, I copied that. Was one that I did make that on the phone. I think I uploaded that to YouTube, and then I know this on YouTube. And this is what I'm trying to do. Most of these videos are going to be the rest of the videos for this on the Whirlpool refrigerator from back then that I haven't got uploaded yet because they're on the phone. And normally, what I've been doing for all these years is Google Photos. I'll let it upload. It automatically uploads them to Google Photos, and then I transfer them over to YouTube. And then when I get around to it, I back them up. And now I'm kind of wondering if some of those backups didn't work, and I never noticed it because I just been whichever way I hooked it up, I synced it and like either USB or take it. I've had trouble back and forth, so I've usually just took the SD card out and put it in the USB to SD card to USB adapter and copied them from there. It is the fastest way. But the other thing the thing I'm concerned about is if these files, well, like I said, I caught some being different, not overwriting, like the file got started and didn't get finished because I was trying to do it over SSH usually, and it didn't overwrite that smaller file like it should have. It just skipped it. It didn't say anything. Lucky Backup didn't. Crusader wasn't, and I don't remember Crusader ever doing that. So now I'm like, it's a very long way to do it. I mean, it takes all this many files. I've already tried it. I tried it over SSH. It took 2 or 3 hours for it to compare by content. And then I started the write. I did it yesterday or the day before. I just let it run while I was, doing other stuff on the computer. And it took hours. It could have been more. I lost track of time. It could have been 3, 4, 5 hours for all I know. But I think it was around 2 to 3 hours. So I don't want to start a compare by content unless I have to. Trying to think of any other way that'd be quicker. Let's see. FileZilla. Well, this FileZilla only does remote connections. It won't do local. So it has a feature where you can say overwrite if size is different or date is different. This is or. It's not like and or. Maybe it is and or. I think it's and or. Which going by the date can be dangerous though, because a lot of times there's conditions where the file date will be newer on an older file. But these, see, they haven't been changed though. I know that. So I actually wouldn't have to worry about that. The one thing that I'm concerned about is if the size is different, then I'm not getting the whole file. I'm getting part of it. And if it's not overwriting the smaller files, then it's not good, That just made me remember something. I remember Total Commander, which I do have on my Windows virtual machine, Windows XP. It always check the file size. That's kind of the main way it's an older program, and it's kind of the main way it went by. It didn't check. I don't think it has ever. Well, I don't know. Well, actually, I do think I have the newest version because I bought it years ago, and I update it every once in a while. It might check MD5 sums. I'm not sure, but and that's the way from what I believe that Crusader uses MD5 sums, and so does Lucky Backup. So you wouldn't think that a file that is not finished writing would still have the same sum, but evidently that's what's happening. Maybe it copied whatever information that said what the MD5 sum was first before it finished copying the whole file somehow, and so it gives out a MD5 sum saying it's the same file, it's identical, when they're not, But let's see. This is the backup. Okay, 617. Okay, 617. 6. I guess I'll go through them. 3227. 1.7 gigabytes. 748. Yeah, see, 3.8 gigabyte file gets skipped. 449. Okay, and 17214. 17214. How far do we have to go way down there? Oh, because there's a bunch of big files. Okay, yeah, see, there's quite a bit of data to be backed up there. 172014. And yeah, that checks out. So I guess manually is the only way to do this, other than wait for it to do do it. As long as I can get that right, then 020644, 12 megabytes, 12.1, 021005, 8.3 megabytes, 021146, 434, 151946. Got another big file in there. 638. Yeah, it's terrible when you just start forgetting everything, because I've used to do this all the time. The USB part. I'm thinking about that. How I can't believe I forgot how to do it. 152205. If I hadn't accidentally brought that menu down and saw that, I don't know when I'd ever figured it out. So thank you, Lord. That was a happy accident. The Baptist preachers in the churches I used to go to when I was young, they called it a divine appointment. Anytime something like that happened. And sometimes even when it was something like that really wasn't they usually said it about running into somebody, something spiritually good happening. But 2205, well, or something good in your life or whatever. So that fits, I guess. So, okay, I should stop talking so I can read numbers. Can't talk and read numbers at the same time. 163457. Okay, and then 170021 12. See, my eyes swap letters and numbers. I don't know how many times I did that. 151553. Okay, now those are the same. This one here is yeah, it does still have the number on it. 135752. 2.1 gigabyte. That's not it. That's not it. Oh, there's nothing. Yeah, it wouldn't be on my phone renamed. It wouldn't be there, right? I probably renamed it after it was already copied over there. Anyway. Okay, so. Yeah, see, I don't know what, let's see. Well, it looks like, I know this is in the same time, so I probably did successfully copy that one through SSH. Because no, wait, one day I took the SD card out and copied the files over. Yeah, I know I've wasted so much time that could have been copying. I guess that's the best way to do it right now. Is I'm going to put those back up there like that because I think they are still close to the newest files anyway. And I was debating about should I just do a copy and then say skip since I've looked at them all, but I think I'll go ahead and I still feel like the sync might do a better job. But yeah, compare by content, you can click that, but like I said, it takes hours to compare that many files that are on. I've already done it a few times. So, you know, as fast as that is, that's wonderful, but it takes hours and hours to compare all those files by big old video files by content. So, because I guess what it does, it doesn't just compare the ones, like I right-clicked and selected, what did I do? I right-clicked and selected only the ones, I guess these on this side. Yeah, because I didn't want it to try to compare every file on that other side, and I don't think it did. I think that worked like I expected. So I hit synchronize, start. I'm still going to have to say confirm overrides. That way I know. I tried turning off confirm overrides, and that didn't help. If I remember the last time I tried this on video, I'm pretty sure I did. But this time it doesn't show any that it's going to. That was one. There was one. Those files were in there that had 0 byte size. Now, while that's working, there's something I was itching to try. Well, that's why I was hesitating, and now I finally remember. I wanted to see if I kept thinking, what if this has got something to do with the NTFS file permission problems between ext4 Linux, any Linux file system really, and Windows NTFS file system, because that's what that backup drive is. Now my 8 terabyte drive, I went ahead and reformatted it to ext4. Not so much because of that, but because of that, and because I've had that NTFS file system break 3 or 4 times already, and I had to fix it, and luckily I did fix it and didn't lose my data. But the last thing you want to do is lose your backup. So I formatted ext4. I've used it for years, and when I first started with Linux, it was ext2, and then 3, and then 4, and I've never had any trouble losing. I think once I lost a complete file system. I forgot what caused it. Power outage. Yeah, on my IBM web server, and it was ext4. That's the only time I've ever lost an entire file system and couldn't fix it in Linux file system. Usually I don't have usually it's fixed automatically during boot, because if there's anything wrong with the file system, Linux will automatically run a file. I can't think of the name of it, but a file checking program, file system checking and fixing program, and it will either fix it automatically or ask you, and you say yes, and it'll do it. But it's going pretty fast, isn't it? I figured that, well, I know that copying from the SD card to the hard drive would be faster. Well, but those hard drives are USB. That's right, those hard drives are USB. So USB to USB, you're not going to really get any faster then, are you, than the USB speed of USB 2.0. That's all this machine has. So, but it's not slow. It's fast enough. Because we're probably copying, I didn't sit there and try to count it up, but I'm going to guess around 10 gigabyte of files. It's already 14%. So now I can go ahead and try, this stupid thing. I hate this. For some reason, while you're doing a sync, I think no, it doesn't do it during file copies because it quit having this little window, which I like the little window. I'm used to that for years and years. But anyway, the freaking whole program follows you to every other workspace that you go to, and you can't stop it. And it never used to do that until, when did I notice it? I think I didn't notice it until Fedora 28. But I want my stuff to stay where I put it. I don't want it following me around. It's the whole reason for having all these different desktops. And then sometimes it'll, like this time, it didn't follow me for some reason. It stayed over there in workspace 1. and it's in the way of my OBS studio. So let's see. I wonder if I just found a clue to, okay, now I want it to stay like that. I don't want that to be highlighted though, so I don't want to accidentally, that you used to could click off of it and it would unhighlight it, so that if you accidentally hit enter or something, see, like right now it says close. And I guess if I use the arrow keys, I can at least let it go over there to pause. So if I was accidentally hit enter when I thought I was on another screen and I wasn't, you know, I wouldn't want to stop my transfer. And the other thing is, when it follows you around, you're liable, and it gets hidden behind something, you know, and you're trying to close something and it doesn't close or whatever, and you accidentally click you click 2 or 3 times and you accidentally close the thing that's behind it. So what I'm wondering, let's see, maybe if I minimize that, it won't follow me. You know what? It actually doesn't follow you. That's a bug. It doesn't follow you. I said there's no way to stop it. Well, there's a way to stop it. It doesn't follow you if it's minimized. So we'll leave it minimized. That way you can't accidentally screw things up. If it's minimized, you can't do anything to it. I don't like that, but I'm used to being able to do this. Go to all my workspaces. Okay, and oh, well, I watched the video. I started to say I got in there, but no, I didn't get in the Fedora 14 system. I watched the video, and I'm glad I did, because I watched a bunch of that video. It was my own video, but it brought back to memory that it's not going to help to try to do the SSH in the older version of Crusader. I kept wondering if it would work, because it'll do SSH inside of itself. When the new version won't, it says it's not supported. Oh, and see, there's the 2 mounts. See that? There's a partition that just has the USB driver for Windows, and then there's a partition that I got to mount by finding the right place and clicking the right place, and so I could copy my files. So, yeah, what I had been wondering was, I'm trying to think what application is the best way to, since I'm doing my sync in Crusader, I don't want to open up, I think you might be able to open up another, depends on how it's set, another instance of Crusader, but that's going to work the system too much. So it's doing good now. I think I'll go ahead and just open it from right there with the default file manager, KJ, or however you say it. Let's see which one it is. KJ. So here's how my backups, it backs up to the Seagate expansion drive. That was the default name, and I never changed it. That's the 5 terabyte drive, really 4.5 terabytes, all you get out of it, out of the drive. And that's the 8 terabyte. I named it that because they were the same name. And well, the first problem I ran into is I had unplugged that one. I didn't mean to click on it. And then unplugged it. And then I think I was watching the video. That's what reminds me of it. And I wasn't too clear in the video. What I thought I'd done is unplugged it, then plugged it back in, but it made they get automatic names, addresses. I'd have to go. Let's see. Oh, that didn't work. Doesn't work the same as in Crusader. Anyway, I'd have to go to the folder to show it. They get with the same name. The system couldn't tell the difference, between them. And my backup, my daily backup, went to the 8 terabyte USB drive, and that's not what I want to do. I have profiles set up on Lucky Backup to back up to this drive, and then it backs up this entire drive to this drive. So it's supposed to be a mirror of the 5 terabyte. And I haven't checked it in a while to make sure it's still working. I guess I can go in here and see if I have, I'm on the 8 terabyte, right? Yeah. And see if I have, they're actually dated, so I can see if, sometimes you're going to end up with, like I moved that file, and so, but that's, it doesn't get moved for you, so you can end up with duplicates. But let's go by newest on top, March 3rd, 2017, so no, that way. Okay. June 17th, 2019. That's a couple of days ago. So let's see. Yeah. 1650. Well, I don't know what time that is, but I never have learned. Anyway, June 17th. Okay, now let's go in here. I guess I could let's do the twin panel and I'll be able to compare them. Okay, so, get it? Where's my extra pane? I turned on extra pane. Oh, there we go. It's not working very quickly. Sometimes that file manager will act up and give you trouble, give you some real trouble. I'll put the 8 terabyte on the right, and it never will stay where you leave it in the spacings and everything. Can you tell that I don't like this file manager? Okay, so MODET stands for motion detect, by the way. I didn't know what that meant either, but I saw a video where a guy was he really knew more than I do about installing stuff in the command line, and he installed ZoneMinder, some security camera software that I did try to install on my server, and I messed up on following the instructions, and it didn't. Everything worked except for ZoneMinder wouldn't start. The MariaDB SQL database worked just fine. But anyway, here's the, trying to make sure there, the 17th. Now there's that one. Now let's get on this side. I think that's the same there. Yep, 17. So they're the same. It's up to date. 0617, but well, I'm kind of scratching my head because I thought I had backed up these files, like yesterday. Over the SSH. Maybe I didn't. But that's what I'm doing now. Well, actually, I'm not, because I forgot something. I'm only doing those videos that I've been so concerned about. Now, I'll run it again in a minute and try to get the whole SD card. I meant to do the whole SD card all at once. And see, it's going pretty quick, though. I was worried about it taking a long time, but it's doing good. So, but here's what I was thinking. Let's get over here on this. Not sure how well. Yeah, see that right there? Now let's go over here. See that file? Yeah, though, for some reason, you see it says REC, so that was a recording, manual recording, not a motion detect recording. See if I can, I'll never drag and drop it in there, see if that works. Ah, okay. Do you want to replace it? Skip. Okay, so see, that file's already there because I had moved it and it automatically got copied to that folder. So now that's an extra one. I'm always scared in these file managers, like especially when you're using twin panel and this type of file manager, it's real easy for me to mess up and delete a whole folder on that side when I'm trying to delete a file on this side, because they'll stay highlighted, and you think you're in one side. Okay, now if you hit delete, oh, it didn't. It bypassed going to trash. Looks like. Let's see if it's in trash. No, it went to trash. It just didn't tell me anything about it. Oh, here's a bunch of 0-byte files that I deleted. See, these are the ones that stopped. That's probably the one. I'm certain these are all the The ones that tried what, and the reason there's what happens is you, and they'll sit there and try to copy for I don't know how long, 30 minutes, an hour, and then it'll fail. And see, every one of them were tried and failed. And see, I let it run for hours until I guess it gets to the end of all the files, and then it tells you if there's a problem instead of at each, for each one. Either that or I just figured it out by checking, triple checking. But I don't even remember now. I'm tired tonight. But these 0-byte files hang everything up. And what I'm saying is it's trying to write over SSH. Somehow it fails, and so it leaves nothing but a file name and 0 bytes. And that causes you can't overwrite them. You got to delete them first, and then you can overwrite them. So yeah, I'm going to get that one there. It's not very big, but I don't want those in the trash, so I'm going to empty the trash. While I'm here and thinking about it. When I delete in Crusader, I was fixing to say, and it might have worked in here, hold down Control and hit the delete button on the keyboard is what I always do, instead of right-clicking and all that stuff, and then it's deleting them bypassing trash, and it tells you, this is no chance to get them back. You sure you want to do this? And I say, double check and then say yes. So, no, that's back where I was. Okay. I think. Yeah. 8 terabyte. And what happened? I guess when I moved my mouse, it followed it. I was just trying to move it out of the way. Yeah, Seagate expansion drive. And hopefully I will get things straightened out to where I make sure there's nothing, this is truly a mirror of this, and then I can reformat this 5 terabyte drive and I want to put it in my server. I bought me a server, and I want to put it in there. I might end up putting them both. It depends. I think it'll fit. I'm not sure. I thought I already knew that it was the same size as my server drives, which can't remember the model number, but it's an HP server, a real rack mount server. I think that they're the size of they're the same outside dimensions as a laptop drive, but they're thick like a regular hard drive. I forgot the numbers, but 3.5 or something like that. And they're SATA drives. Well, actually, the ones in the server, I think, are I forgot the name of them, but anyway, real server drives. I think that's what's in there. But I have 8 of them. I think it is in there, but they're not real big. They're like, are they? I don't remember what they are. I think I have a total of 5 to 7 terabytes. No. Anyway, I can't remember any of the details. I haven't touched that thing in probably a month now or two because I had so many other things. But I'm just dying to get it going. Hopefully, I'm going to use it as a server and as my daily machine all at the same time. Because it's really powerful. It's 2 6-core processors with hyper-threading. It actually shows up as 24 cores in your system monitor, like in here. And like if I look at this screen in here, you can see how hard the machine's working for one thing. But I have 4 cores, and that's what it doesn't show the hyper-threading. There's no more than 4 cores that shows up to the software. And then I have 4 gig of RAM. Well, that server shows 24 cores, and then it's got I think it's 64 gig of RAM. It's going to be awesome. It's getting close to being done there, so I won't have to worry about trying to actually do anything in this. I fumble around a lot in this file manager here. There is one thing I wanted to check. Let's get out of the twin panel view so that I don't mess things up. On the 8 terabyte drive, there's two things I wanted to see. I wondered if it was the file permission problem, why you can't overwrite, why these programs aren't overwriting the 0-byte files. Like, I have seen that before, but the only time I really remember having that trouble was in Windows. I don't remember having that trouble in Linux, or at least not very often. Some weird thing like a power outage or something, and it could cause that file to be like that, might cause something weird with the permissions. But so we're on the 8 terabyte drive again, but I don't remember having that kind of trouble. So, but in here, I bet you I'm going to have I'm going to look in here. I haven't done it. Yeah, see all those 0-byte files? So I was thinking I would do an experiment, like with one of the other phone 1 or 3's backup, and see if I can write to them on this drive without it, because I'm wondering if I can. I'm going to go ahead and delete these right now, because let's hold down the control key and see. Now it doesn't do anything, so that doesn't work in that file manager. Okay, so I just thought there's sometimes a delay. Well, I might, even if I deleted anything in here, it would get put back the next backup. But so now that's what I've been doing, is going in and manually finding any 0-byte files. And look, it doesn't stay the way you selected it. That's a 4 gigabyte file there. Okay, and then there's some 0-byte files in there. And like I said, I don't know. This could be a real problem that's going to be hard to overcome, because, and it seems to only be these video files that, that are doing that. It could be happening with images. But, yeah, see, all those 0-byte files got copied. And there was I swear I used to use, I used to try to stay on top of my duplicate files because I didn't have big backup drives. And so I swear one of my backup programs that I like to use, which actually, duplicate file finder programs, which actually the ones I like are actually Windows programs, and I used to use them in my Windows XP virtual machine on my Linux systems. And I went and got in it the other day. I didn't make a video because I wasn't feeling too good and I didn't feel like setting it all up. And I ran kind of like a mock, run on a folder or two with one's called AnyTwin, and I forget what the other one's called. I keep thinking I'm going to show it to you, but I'd have to I can't boot that up. The system couldn't handle it. Anyway, I couldn't find. I swear there's one of my favorites. There was a place you could click and show all 0-byte files, and I couldn't find it. And at first I went to one called let's close this. One called File System Lint, FSLint, and I don't know if I stuck an icon up there. No, I don't think I did. And I thought it might do that, but it wouldn't do it. It'd do everything under the sun but that. And actually, it's actually a good duplicate file finder, but it works really well now. It used to years ago. It would my Fedora 14 system, it would overwhelm it during the scan. It used too many resources, and it was also really hard. Well, I think as far as the features of like how to select, and maybe they've added a few, but anyway, I got to where I use it now, especially on my Linux systems, because I don't have to. There we go, we're done. I don't have to. Now let's go ahead and do another compare. Of course, it should just say everything's done. And of course, you could glance through here. Let's see. Size. I can kind of look at the first few numbers and get an idea. Especially with the highlighter, that I couldn't do it without it. That just, happens to automatically work that way, and it's nice and blue where I can see where it is. Already losing track of what I'm doing there. Okay, so and if you say synchronize, it'll say nothing to do. But this was happening. It was saying nothing to do when you could see that the file on this side, on the side you were backing up to, was much smaller. I just somehow luckily caught it, and the other one. So finally, I can go ahead and delete these. I want to get out of that folder. It always makes me nervous in the twin panel file manager. So I select all those, go down Control and hit delete. Now see, it says, do you want to delete all these items? And the other menu, I'll get out of it and show you. If I hit delete that way, trash. See, it says, do you want to put them in the trash? So I don't want to fill up my trash with a bunch of big, huge files. That'd be about 10 gigabytes probably. So that I just found out by accident. I used to always just set Crusader to delete, default to delete all. I think that used to be the default, but anyway, I was used to it deleting them forever, and come to find out when in this newer version here in Fedora 28, come to find out that was the default. And actually I like it now, because then I have to purposely say I'm going to delete them forever. So that's a good thing. Let's see. I forgot which side. Okay, the right side is the one with the phone, right? Yeah, okay. And now here's what it looks like in all of my drives here in Crusader. See, the 8 terabyte, the Seagate expansion drives the 5 terabyte, USB driver. That's the only thing you can get unless you click the right thing there. And then this is the automatic, number it gave it. Well, I don't know if it's a generated number, or I think it's the ID on the SD card. I think that's what it is. But this is where I meant to be. Let's see if I can go back and get to where I was. There we go. So that's the... Yeah, okay. So this one evidently, I think I accidentally put all that in that folder at one time. Is how come it's got so many more folders in there. So anyway, I'm gonna do this to get, well, all the IP webcam videos and stuff, because yeah, see, there's 0618. I mean, 0618 at 1107. Yeah. Okay, so go ahead and do that again, and then I can delete those. Oh yeah, I was meaning to. I don't know about. The thing is all these folders, I don't know where there may or may not be 0-byte files. Yeah, here's all those security footage, little short clips, 5-minute. Most of them are all 5-minute clips. Some of them, it's weird. That IP webcam app, it's the one I've been using on my. It's really a security app, but I wanted to use it for. I didn't have it recorded to the phone. I just had it live stream so I could pick it up on OBS Studio and stream up and make my live videos. But now that I'm using it I'm using one camera for a security camera and then the other one for my videos. So now I've got all these little short, the 5-minute videos. Sometimes it only takes a couple of minutes, a minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes, and quits, and I don't know why it does that. And this 5 minutes is the shortest you can set it for. Don't really need 5 minutes every time there's a movement. But I have noticed that, usually when it records for 5 minutes, it catches more stuff. Almost most videos. Well, maybe not most. But a lot of videos, it catches more things that. But the thing is, you could have it record for like as fast as a vehicle goes by, or like if somebody's walking by, and if you want to see if they're messing with your stuff, then they stop. Then it would be more than 30 seconds. So 5 minutes is good, but it's a bit much of video that's not, because I've been thumbing through them, like get them in VLC, and then you can hit the arrow keys to go forward and back 10 seconds. So I just been hitting, forward, and if I see something, I go back and watch it and see if it's anything suspicious. And that's getting to be too big of a job, but so that's why. Once I get to kind of know, I've never paid attention to the neighborhood until recently. And so anyway, I grew up in this house, and we used to never have any trouble, but there's been trouble lately. That's why I'm putting out a camera. But let's see. Let me go over this. Yeah, so everything is blue. Usually I see a lot of greens, and green means the file's already there. That's what's puzzling me. Green means the file's already there, but there's a difference. And but still, just to make sure I don't mess something up, I always tell it to ask me before it overwrites. Now there's one it's there. Let's see if maybe they've changed the color or something. 1650, 10. Okay, now there's something different about this file. I don't know what, unless it's, best I can tell, the sizes are the same and everything. So I don't know what the deal is. We'll see what it does. We'll run it and see. I don't know. Maybe they decided to go from green to blue on that, but I thought there was always I know there's a red and a green that I've seen highlighting, and then I thought there was blue too sometimes, maybe. Anyway, let's hit, I hit compare, you goof. I meant to hit synchronize. Now this is okay, and somehow it is, I can see for me how that's easy to forget. You have, like I said, you have to turn on the debugging in order to get this feature to work of being able to mount your drive as a file system, basically. Mount your file system so you can work with it, copy it, and all that. But then you also have to go to the other step of going up there in that little like running apps menu there. That I forget about that. The only time I bring that down is when I do it on accident, when I'm trying to do something else, and just doesn't make sense to me. And so just not on my radar. So that you have to go there too and turn on which one of those type of file transfer you want to use. And it's been at least a year since I've been ever. I don't usually try to plug it into USB to copy stuff. I've just been taking the SD card out, and it might have been longer than a year since I forgot how to do that. That's just pitiful. So there we go. Now there's one that says, do you want to overwrite it? Do you want to skip? What do you want to do? I'm going to say overwrite because I want to make sure if any of those files are smaller than the originals, that they get overwritten. And it probably won't take too long. It looks like it's going to go pretty fast. Of course, when it hits some of those videos, it may slow down. But most of these files are really, really small. But those videos, like I said, the biggest ones are 40. Biggest one I saw that I had was 40 megabytes. So yeah, see how fast it's going. So you can't beat that at all. So let's see, where's IP webcam? IP webcam. Let's just do that again right quick since it's so fast. They should all be black and not. Now I'm trusting that it's. Well, I haven't had any, as far as I know, any failures in copies in these, so I think I can trust it. You know, I won't have that problem where it thinks it's okay. It's already been, they're equal when they're not. And I don't see how it could think that. Other than it's only, the only guess I have is it's not using file size information. It's using MD5 checksums. And out of the blue, I'm just thinking, okay, so maybe the MD5 gets copied at the beginning of the copy. And that's the only way I can imagine, you know, the system thinking that they're equal when they're so obviously not. I mean, most all these 0-byte files, and then the other ones I saw was like the backed up file on the backup drive was like 2 gigabytes, and the original file was 3.5 gigabytes. That's a lot of difference. Of course, I guess it doesn't matter to, that doesn't mean anything to a computer system, but you know, at least it was enough that I noticed it right away. So I guess that was good for me. Okay, so before I actually start deleting these, I think I'll look. So that's 06/18/1107. I should have remembered that I wanted to do that. Okay, now this is on the expansion drives, 06/18/1107, 2.3. Yeah, okay. The reason I just keep getting out of there is to make sure I can't accidentally delete my backups. So we'll get these off of here too. They do automatically delete. It's got a rolling, but since I'm manually, you know, backing them up, I might as well just go ahead and delete them. I got it set to always leave 10 gigabytes on the card. But you see, I make videos sometimes. I may want to grab that phone and use it for video again, like I normally do, and want to have plenty of space. Because if I start making videos, I might easily use. I usually always lose around 10 gigabytes. So that's why I wanted to get this thing now. It's back up to its normal. It's 59.5 gigabytes, a 64 gigabyte SD card. So that's pretty close to, I think 61 gigabyte was how much it is empty. It has empty. But no, I'm just sitting here clicking without paying attention. Where's the record folder? I didn't delete it or something. Let's see, I was going to try to go back. Modet, motion detect, record, scripts, and thumbs. I wonder if at some time I accidentally deleted that, or if it's just not there, or what. I'm going to do this. Which one? Oh, it was this phone that was, maybe it was dumping them into the main folder because it didn't have a record folder for some reason. Just do the sync to make sure they're the same. Okay, now. So I don't think that, I've seen that folder over and over, and I don't know if I deleted it on accident or what, but if it's there, it shouldn't hurt anything unless I messed up the file permissions doing it that way. Shouldn't have. But, because I'm not doing it as root or anything. Let's look at the permissions and see what they are. That would be a pain if I messed that up. It's the same as normal for my system. Now let's see what it is in the Modet, because that's the one that can only view. Okay, see, there is a difference, but it's just that group can do it, so I'm going to leave it as it is. I wonder about the scripts. So the default permission seems to be owner can do it all, and the rest can only view. It does say Dawn. Well, yeah, user group Dawn. I don't know if that's because I'm connected to it and mounted it, or if that's the way it is on the phone. Because from what I remember, there's only one real system user on the phone, and that's root. But you don't have root privileges unless you root the phone. And if there wasn't a user, when I got the phones, it didn't ask me to make a user, and I made Dawn. It asked you for all the, like you use your Gmail because it's an Android phone and all that stuff. So I don't know. Anyway, I was thinking the other day maybe that would be the other user as your Gmail, but that's not right either. And because I've been all over those, the systems, these Android phones. But that's as far as you can go with the USB. You can't go to the root folders. You can view them other ways, but you can view them over SSH. You can't do anything in them, but you can view them. But yeah, that's all I need to clean up. Yeah, you can't, let's see. Yeah, you can't see the system ROM, the system folders, the onboard this way. Now you can't at all. I guess what you can see is whatever is the default. See, I set the SD card as the default so that I can make sure that it always writes the videos and stuff to it automatically, whatever app I'm using, because it's only got 2 GB of usable space on the onboard chip, the onboard flash memory, and that fills up really fast just using the phone. So, and that's with every app that I could possibly move to the SD card, So that's the way all these phones are. I have 64 GB in this one, in phone 1, and then phone 3. The one I use for my lapel mics, and I use it for video sometimes. 32 GB. I started out with 32s and immediately realized that wasn't big enough. So then I bought, for the other phones, I bought 64 GB. And that's the driver folder, which only mounts up when you, you can go find it in the system, but anyway, it mounts up automatically when you plug this in, expecting that you're plugging it into a Windows system. I don't know. Does it have any other? Yeah. When AMD 64. It doesn't have a Mac. I guess it wouldn't, since Mac and Android are such direct competitors. So they don't really play well with each other. There's not. I've never used a Mac or an iPhone. I've never used a Mac. I've used a Mac computer. My friend Marty, who recorded my albums, all of my 2 albums, he had a Mac recording computer, a computer set up for recording, and then I used that. He showed me how to use it, just that one program a little bit, the recording program. I can't remember what the name of it was now, but it's a pretty popular program. And then, I've touched I played with an iPad for 20 minutes once, and that's it. And I've always thought, even back when I was running Windows, back pre-2005, I always thought Macs were a ripoff because they were so expensive for every little thing. The computers were expensive and underpowered. Back then, they were really underpowered. Before they used Intel processors, they were super underpowered and very expensive, and the software was just an arm and a leg. There's very little, freeware for open source or anything for Mac, or there was. There's a little bit now, I think, but so I never liked the idea of them, period. And then when I discovered Linux, never went back to Windows either. So other than to just always keep it around in case there's some apps that you like, that I like, that that's all they'll run on. So anyway, let's see. That got me all cleaned up finally, and that's way better, easier than it stayed away. It's staying away because it's plugged in. I remember that now. So that's easier than taking all my stuff off of there. And my phone 1, I need to do it 2. It's up there in the window being my webcam right now. I mean my security cam. I don't know what those. I had everything. Well, it may be all right, but there seems to be like reflections there that all those. That's the Venetian blinds, and when the lights are on in the room, you can't stop that. But it looks different because I changed the night vision settings. You have to do that manually. You can tell it to turn on and off automatically. But anyway, there's something there that I know. That's the street that's looking all shiny. I know you can't see my arrow, but I'm pointing at it for you with my mouse. But anyway, let's see. Well, I guess what I'll do, let's see, I'm done with it, right? Yeah, you've looked at it 100 times now. Okay. Oh, yeah, I just remembered something. Let's go to videos. Once I've been, and with Crusader, once you've been into a folder, even though you get out of it, it still keeps a lock on it. And so if you try to unmount the drive, which I was fixing to do, it will give you it's busy. I wanted to just make sure my backup video was being made. So I would, if you just close Crusader, then you won't have that. So now I'm going to unmount that. And say eject, because that's what it says. Sometimes it'll say eject, sometimes it'll say safely remove or something. It's not ejecting, is it? Usually it's pretty quick. Might need to do that one first or something. Oh, now it's safe to remove it. But I'm going to go ahead and do this one first too before I unplug it, because they're both tied to that, because of that USB cable. Okay, now. And it charged it all the way up. I'm going to go ahead and power it off for now. Anyway, this one I got all set up to automatically switch, between day and night, and I had to do it manually a while ago, a couple hours ago now. It's actually 1:18. I knew I would be on here a while it took me, I think it took about an hour to get set up. Usually I can get set up in 15 to 20 minutes, but the last several times I made videos, I had all kinds of crazy problems. Getting a cough drop. So I'm trying to think. Oh, that's how I normally do. I can do SSH and use Crusader by doing this. I'll go to places, and I have them bookmarked. And see, that's phone 1, and mount that as a as a remote drive, as a network drive. This is how I've been doing it. And of course it'll automatically open it up in here, but I don't like this file manager. But see, it's FTP connection. That's how I set it up. So all I have to do is use my shortcut now, and I'm using SSH Droid as the SFTP server on the phones. And then I can right click and say open with other application. I've forgotten this until I saw it in my video how I was doing that. And then once it comes up, it's not right there at the top. I thought it would suggest it. Anyway, I'm going to find Crusader. I don't know if I want it to remember that or not. I guess that's fine. I don't know what else I'd possibly want to open it with. There it is. I don't think I want to do that. I'm not going to tell it to remember that. That might cause me trouble if I want to do something different. Okay, so there it is. and it's opened up. This is over the Wi-Fi. And let's go to the let's see what we got here. Copy webcam. Yeah, we should have plenty all day. I started it this morning, so 1342. Go ahead and put that in the 2048. Trying to figure out 6/18/1:47 p.m. Guess that's when I did it. So yeah, that's right. I didn't get up early today. Did I really get up that late? Right after I got up, I noticed that I happened to look out the window and see that camera wasn't working. It had filled up the onboard drive. It filled up, and I had to finally take it down so I could get to all-in-one toolbox to clean it up. Then I thought, well, I'll just put this other one up there because I needed to do what I just did. You know, plug it in somehow one way. I thought I was going to take the SD card out, but then I remembered the USB. 47. Yeah, 8:51 p.m. That was the last recording at 8:51. You know what? I think something went wrong because I know there had to be some car drive-by or something between 8:51 p.m. and that's right after I got through setting it up and getting the night vision going and everything. I think I forgot to turn. I had rebooted it because it was kind of sluggish, but I forgot to. I don't have everything set automatically, so I bet I forgot to turn on the. I'll get in here in my web browser and show it. Bet you anything I forgot to turn on the auto motion capture. It's working fine. Go ahead and turn the video off. There's really no. No, it's turned on. Sensitivity it's on the default because I usually bring it back to about right there. That's probably I might have missed something, and it could be the way I have. See, the areas are all the way I want them. I turn off the top row because that's trees that move in the breeze. 7, yeah, I set that. I've been going 10 and 10, but I set it on this. It wasn't quite dark at that time, and so I set it at like that. And I thought, well, I'll check back later and see if I can always change it again later right here. This is only, and when you reboot, all this goes back to the default. So anything you do in this window, you have to go into the little app and set it if you want it to stay, like that 5 minutes. And see, 5 minutes is the shortest you can do it. Well, you might, in the app itself, wonder if you can do less than that. You probably couldn't do less than a minute. But anyway, everything shows that it should be working, but it's not. So the only other thing I can imagine is that it's not seeing well. So I think I'll just bring it to what I've been doing every night, 10 and 10. See what it looks like. I really just kind of, well, I did it by looking at it. I was going to say randomly, but I didn't do it randomly. Yeah. Doesn't look like there's anything wrong with it, like it's frozen or anything. It actually doesn't show to be any different, does it? Wasn't enough of a change to look any different. Unless it just hasn't updated yet. It's been, this one, I don't know why it would, unless it's got some other things running in the background that camera 2 doesn't have, phone 2 doesn't have, but it's it seemed to be using up all of its RAM, is what it seemed like. It wasn't running good, you know, when well, right before dark, about 8:30 is when I noticed it. I just hit me that, oh, I need to manually change that to night vision. And I went over there and looked at it, and I noticed it wasn't running good. So let's see. So you can do that. You can turn it on, test it. It's working. And from I kind of wondered, by experimenting and kind of figuring some of this out, you know. Actually, no, I'm going to stop it. With the other camera, that brings up that. Yeah, it brings up that, and that's why I have to do it while it's recording, so I can see. I don't want that thing cutting off my vehicles, you know. So aiming it has to do with that. But that nag screen to nag watermark to get you to pay for it. It's a good enough app to pay for. I really like the app. I don't actually, until now, I hadn't had any need to record videos, so that didn't ever bother me. But anyway, I'd have to go over there and move, you know, do some movement, I guess, myself to make sure that it's working. But I'm getting ready to put the other one back over there anyway, so. I don't want to fiddle with this for a long time. I was sitting here debating a minute ago, maybe I should just go stick this over there now, but I could make it part of the video, but I don't have a camera to do that with, because they're both being, well, I guess I could turn camera 2 on and take it over there. Of course, it'd make a bunch of bad video while I was sticking it over there, but could do that. I really don't, unless something goes by, then I won't know if it's working or not. But evidently it wasn't. But what I was thinking is I can bring that one over here and plug it into the USB. And let's get out of there now. Let's see. I was fixing to start copying files across the SFTP, but I know any big files won't work. I already know that. And it is much slower, way, way slower. Yeah, it's super slow over the Wi-Fi. Let's see. I imagine there's at least a few big files in there. Oh, there's nothing. Some of it are, 800 megabytes. Oh, that's kilobytes. There's a 2.2 gigabyte. Best thing to do is do that. Okay, there's the smallest one. Here's the biggest one. Oh, there's a bunch of 1 and 2 gigabyte files. There's a 3.6. Oh, that's megabytes. Oh, those are all megabytes. Oh, here they are. Oh, yeah, these files are too big to copy over then those won't work. The only ones, these here might work. So I need to go get it and plug it into the USB to copy them. And maybe I'll, it almost looks like there's more files in here than there was in the other one. Of course, I don't know what's already been backed up. But my idea, I didn't do any of the experiment and seeing if copying straight to that ext4 drive would, did I already delete all the 0-byte files out of it? I think I did. Oh, well, that was on the other one. This is phone 1. Yeah, I've got some different extra folders in there. Doesn't have a REC folder either. I'm in the wrong. Should be in DCIM. Open camera. See if there's any 0-byte files in there. No. Not in there. I don't have any 0-byte files, so my little experiment wouldn't work on this camera. Phone 3, that's the one that's in my pocket. Okay. In my little bag, it's one of my lapel mics. There's one right there. So I could try it with just that one file. But I'm actually kind of, I don't want to, this is the time when you want the security camera working. So I'm going to turn this thing on and get it pointed over there. And then go from there on that. I can go ahead, I can do that though, I guess. But I'm not going to do that over the Ethernet, and I'm almost certain I don't have well, I'd have to mount it. That's right. I'm almost certain I don't have. The only way I would have SSH stored on camera 1 is if it. Sometimes it turns itself on. Well, what happens if you have it running when you shut the phone down and you reboot it? It'll be back. It'll start itself back up, and I don't know why. Because you have it turned. I always keep it turned to not do that. Sometimes it'll do it, and sometimes it won't. I've sat there and watched it. Let's see, well, I'm turning this phone on, and let's see. I'll go ahead and get the camera over here again, I guess. I'm a bit confused now about what I have going. Okay. Which one is the top? Which one's the bottom? Okay, that's the top. It's turned again. Okay, let's get it logged in. I thought I would got me confused. That makes it right set up. Oh, that's how I did it before. I looked at it in the preview. Guys, I have an IP webcam right there on the front. And I have this one all set up. So all I have to do is just turn it on. That little ad at the bottom there, it doesn't come up right away, and so you try to turn it on and you'll you'll end up being touching that. So if you wait for it to. There we go. Wait for it to start before you. Oh, I forgot to. Oh, I wasn't going to show any of the settings. So once you, of course, it's black because I don't have. It's laying on that thing. So if I hit the home key, then it'll be running in the background. Now this time I remember. Oh, but it doesn't show up. Oh, I've got it turned off where it won't show up. That's what that means. So I don't really need that. I've got one of the options clicked saying don't show that it's running. But if I actually thought that meant that hide the window. Well, I don't know why I thought that. So that's why sometimes I want to check and see if it's running or not, And I do remember that's one thing lately I've been doing is doing that to see if it's running. So this camera, it's checked, obviously, to not show it. And then the other one, it's checked to show it because I saw it. Okay, so now this is running. I'm sure I've got my camera lens dirty. All this rubbing it around on the desk and everything, so we'll clean it up. And now, let's see. And it's running and serving up, so should be able to switch to it. It's running and serving up. So, OBS was already running. It's not going to work. Never fear. There's always another way to skin a cat. Or is that politically incorrect to say skin a cat? Okay, let's see about open network stream, and now that would view camera 1. I should hopefully still have. It looks like I don't have the one that works for 141. These are all the ones I tried that didn't work. I guess what I had done was edited this one. Yeah, 141 is what it is. I can see all my 141. Well, that stinks. I wanted to, be able to just switch between them. And, you'd think you'd be able to, hit delete while you're on those. Or get them in some way or the other to get them out of there. They'd get out of there when they get darn good and ready. You can't, I don't know how to take them out. If you do that, that doesn't help at all. I hit the arrow key. See, it's still there. Right clicking just makes it happen. Now, that should be the, that's the other camera. And this one is, well, I was trying to see which one it is, but I know which one it is. But when I did this earlier today, and now I know what's going to happen. I'd like to be able to switch between them, Network. Oh, you got to go. For some reason, open a network stream. That particular local network stream is only up in here. There it is. Oh, recent media. Okay. Well, another happy accident. There it is. Oh, and it's on night vision because it's set to do that at this time of night. So, pointed at me, I guess, is better than the screen. Or is it? Oh, it's delayed. Oh, there it is. Okay, but what you can do with it, see under the desk at night. How about that? Or it's kind of dark down there where my computers are. Okay, so what I want to do is turn on the lapel. Okay, now, yeah. Okay, so do is turn on the lapel. Okay, now. Oh, I was trying to show the camera and it wouldn't work. Well, then I have no choice but to, well, I'm still streaming it over there.
I was trying to show the camera and it wouldn't work.
Got me all confused. Okay, so I have no choice as far as the OBS studio.
No choice but to
Turn the sound off. It's driving me crazy. So, I'm trying to think, how can I do this? Okay, I'll just leave that one on and go put this one over there. And then when I get back over here, that's when I'll take that one off of night vision. Well, I can take it off now, I guess. Yeah, take it off now. And then I can bring it back over here and put it in its place where it goes for me to use it. Oh, let's see. I can get on the desktop until I get all that done. Let's see. Camera one. I'm holding this other camera up, thinking I'm doing something with it now. Thinking I have to be hold it still and all that stuff. Okay. So we'll turn off the night vision. So you can just barely see anything with it like that. And that is what we have a light over there. By the way, that's why you can see the vehicles good, because we have a light over there. Have had that for many years. You know, one of those night lights, big lights, kind of like a street light. Looks like a street light. Comes on, you know, at night. Goes off at sun up. Okay, so now I can go bring that over here. And yeah, that one is still on night vision. And that's the one I'll go put on the yeah, if you don't have a most of the time, if one of these cameras isn't on when you open up OBS Studio, it won't find it if you turn it on later. Sometimes it will, but not about most of the time. I think it doesn't. Okay, so yeah, this is all cleaned up and ready to go. So you won't be able to see my work. You'll just see the results of it, I guess. Oh, let's see. Maybe I can allow that somehow, because I'm fixing to get it out of there. So, yeah, I can do that, I think. Not sure where to put it. I guess if I put it way over here. That's actually pretty good. I'll leave it. I'm not even going to mess with it. This one is, on this stand, is actually easier to aim than that other one was. I can't, well, I don't have a, that screen is so little. Well, yeah, so what I can do is start up. What I do is I start up VLC. I guess I showed that some on the desktop. I kept getting confused about what I was showing. Start up VLC, and where is that recent? There we go. Let's see, I want to show 194, right? Yeah. And get it, you know, as big as I can get it, and then I can aim it by that. This one doesn't have too much delay usually. Can't believe it. I think I hit it. I didn't have to go up and down. All I had to do is, oh, I do need to go down some of that. See, and it's doing the motion recording because I can see the green. I couldn't understand why the green green and text was gone sometimes and there at others. Now I finally realized if it's recording, it's there, and if it's not, it's gone. There. I think that's all right. There's all the stuff in the way here. Oh, I see. I'm gonna have to go down another rung on the blinds. There. Now it's tucked up in there without. It was all bound up. And since I have these on here by rubber bands, then it will really. Yeah, see now it's all different because. So I didn't get as lucky as I thought. I gotta completely re-aim it now. But I ended up. It was binding on one of the blinds. Let's see, I'm not quite sure. Oh, I need to turn it some more now. There we go. Now the height's pretty good. Oh, that's where I want it. Oh, maybe not. I try to keep the window frame out of it because I don't know if that's a shadow or no, that's the actual window frame. Now that's when I turn my lights off. See what you can see. When a vehicle goes by, then oh, you can't see that. Yeah, let me make sure it's plugged in. Let me see which way do I do it? Okay, I can show it by showing the desktop. Yeah, I can show that by showing the desktop. Okay, now. Okay, so that's what it looks like with my lights on in my room and all the reflections. And then when I turn the lights off, you see now the reflections go away. But I've noticed when I'm reviewing the footage, sometimes they come back. You know what I just realized? I might have been seeing those reflections in the daytime. I don't know. Because sometimes I'm asleep at night and sometimes I'm asleep in the daytime. Anyway, the reflection in the daytime, they change it a lot and there's all kinds of crazy things that happens. But depending on where the sun is, like in the mornings, you really get a lot of. But yeah, so I'm not so sure that windowsill that you see there isn't really just a reflection and not actually aiming on the windowsill. Well, in the daytime it's bad because the bottom left corner is a white window and it reflects and causes at different times it causes trouble. Daytime more than ever, if I remember right. It causes trouble with it makes the camera not white balance and not focus right as good as it can going through a screen, a window and a screen. Okay, well I'm leaving it like that because I've had it like that before and it was okay. Because see, the thing is, I want to at least get the door of that the Blazer over there, and sometimes I move it just enough to not see any of the window, but just see the door. That's the mirror that's kind of shiny looking. It's actually white. It's not chrome. That other one on the van is chrome. But when a vehicle goes by in the street out there to the right of the tree, well, I ran it. I didn't know how to make it automatically go to night vision at first, and I ran it. It would be, wasn't in night vision, and you could actually really make out the cars going by better that way. But this way, your main thing you want to see is if somebody's getting up in your yard and messing with your vehicles or coming to your front door. And so that's the way I've been doing it. But if a vehicle goes by with it in night vision, it just washes it out, and you can't tell the shape of the vehicle. And you can just see, the lights and stuff. With it in regular, you can pretty much tell the shape of the vehicle and maybe tell what kind of vehicle it is. You can't see it, either way. So yeah, as cool as phones are, and these only cost $15, they're still much more useful as video cameras than they are as, for making videos than they are as cameras for surveillance, especially going through a window screen. That the little square, tiny little squares, that's the window screen, and then of course you can see the Venetian blinds. It's not looking through the Venetian blinds, that's the reflection of the Venetian blinds on the window. I've got it on the other side of the Venetian blinds. So well, that's a nice shot there, isn't it? Okay, so let's put this up here where it goes. I don't know any better thing to do than a bad video. Is a bad video a moving camera better than a boring video of desktop with nothing going on? You be the judge. But I'll be the one deciding what to do. You be the judge, but I'll be doing what the heck I want to anyway, because that's just the way I am. Okay. Nobody tells me nothing anyway, so I'll just do what I want. Okay, now. No, I don't like when people gripe and complain. Nice comment once in a while is fine, nice, but when people gripe and complain, I try not to do that to other people, even if it's something I really don't like. It's their video, it's their time, their work. They can do what they want. So that's the way it, is. That's the way it is for me. My toys, I'll play with them the way I want to. Okay, so yes, but if we can help each other figure, I love watching these. I usually do call them how-to videos, but I don't usually call mine how-tos because mine are usually mistake and discovery videos. Even when I'm trying to do something I really know how to do and been doing for years, I start forgetting stuff. So anyway, people have helped me a lot over the last 20 years, or not quite 20 years, but however long. Well, YouTube didn't have so many how-to videos the first few years. I'd say the last 10 years, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, probably of how-to videos, of plenty of them. It's really helped me a lot. A lot of things that, things that I have muddled through, like working on appliances and stuff, especially over the years. I figured it out usually, but some things I didn't. It would turn out to be so easy to take our dryer apart, and I could not figure out how to get that drum out of that thing. I didn't want to tear it up. I was trying to fix it until I found they were on YouTube, but it was put out by appliance parts sales place. But they're a good place, good information, and I bought my parts from them because they had decent prices, and well, actually they had like a 1-year return thing on them and everything. Oh, I was like, why is there a time on that camera? And I just realized, because I turned it on and left it on. So let's go turn all that extra junk off now. So one pretty cool thing about this IP webcam app is these remote control features. There's cool things you can do. So yeah, I don't want the timestamp in my regular or everyday video, so you just click off. I'm on what I'm on. Yeah, desktop. Click off overlay and it goes away. And I realized that, it was just white text and no background color. Well, I put the background color on my other one so that, because it was with the sun shining in the daytime, you couldn't read the numbers. It was white numbers. So let's see. And I don't need it to motion detect anymore. I'm not sure if it was working anyway for some reason there. And actually, all these other things down in here. Yeah, anything that I set, like I said, in the app's going to go right back. Anything I set here in this page will go back once I reboot the camera. The app, turn the app off and turn it back on. Forget you don't have to reboot the phone. I'm not going to mess with that because I'm not going to turn it back on mode. Not censored. Not planning on it. Okay, so it's plugged in. Oh, I just realized it's still plugged in. My USB cable, I plugged it into the phone, which will be charging it because it's plugged into the computer, but it also is plugged into the computer so that I can, but I will have to turn on, I forgot to turn off USB debugging. It's not going to really hurt anything. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about it now. It does make it use more power. I think you can notice it, but it's staying plugged in 24/7 as long as it's, I'll leave them plugged in all the time and take them, carry them around once in a while, like to make a video. But I leave them plugged in. But I turn the power off to them at night when I go to bed. I don't leave the power on to them. But if I'm up and at the computer, then they're being powered. But of course, the BMS does stop the charging unless they get whacked out. That phone 3 kept getting whacked out, and it wasn't booting up, and then it was sitting there in a reset screen, and the BM, and that's what caused that battery to get hot and to swell up. But they're all swelling up now, though. They're just all old. They're just outgassing, but they're still working okay. And they don't get hot as long as they're in their normal, operating, like booted up or turned off. But there's still some software running when they're turned off. The BMS and other things. I think all kinds of things are running, GPS and all kinds of things that you really don't want running. So anyway, I'm sitting here videoing myself with that. Okay, so I got to grab that thing again to turn on do the same thing I did with the other one. So let's see. Oh. I'm going to go ahead and switch. Mics right now because I'm going to be moving all over the place. I'll get this one down here so I can try and show. Try and show it again. Oh, that phone 1. How can I do that? Well, let's just do this other one first, I guess. No, let's do the phone 1. Okay. Oh, I can do it just like this. Okay. I want to try that. There's only that one file. And I've already, that other one would be a repeat of what I just got through doing anyway, as far as video goes. But this would be different. Let's see. I don't think I should talk on this mic, though, in case I mess something up. I could accidentally close that app or something. Okay. Get back on the SM58. That will make much better sense. Okay, we're on the SM58. Now, let me get this. I could show that with this other camera. It would be much better than trying to mess around with this endoscope. Let me get this other camera aimed down here. Guess I need to give up Okay, so this is the bag I'm always talking about that I have my phone in. That's my lapel mics are plugged into. See, and I keep it I keep it in the bag to be able to wear it, and I keep it in this bracket that actually came with my not 3D VR headset, VR box headset. I never got any use out of it. I can't really stand to wear it. Makes me want to throw up. But this is really cool. It's only $13. It wasn't a big deal. Anyway, this adapter that comes with this mic. The other one I had before this was the same way. The one that makes it work with the lapels is the long silver one on top of it, and then you plug your regular connector into it. But it sticks out so far that you can break the connector inside the phone so easy. So this protects it, and keep it in, and then I can stick it in the bag, and I stick the excess mic cable in there, and all that too. And so it gives me a wireless mic that'll last 5+ hours. Pretty cool. So anyway, I'm gonna get in here and this. Do what I did before. Of course, you can't see what I'm doing, but you saw that a while ago. I could show it to you better this time because of there's no strings on there. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's what happens. SM58 was moved, and I forgot to put it back. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and I don't know if you turned the volume up or left by now, but let's see. Let's get this on in the scope. I wasn't going to use it, but now I realize that's really the way to go. If I can figure out which way is which. Oh, okay, like that. Have to get oriented, and then I can do it. There. Okay, so this one doesn't like to go to its home screen. So it's like the second page in. But so that's the home screen. IP webcam. That's how I had them all set up. And see, IP webcam's right there. But luckily, the next page over, and then I have the rest of my stuff there, and that, of course, used to take you to the second page, and then you go from there. But now the home, when you hit the home button, this one here, it takes you to all this, to the second page. And luckily IP webcam is there, so I can still start it from there like I usually do. And this is the one that's running the junk. There it is. See, IP webcam is showing up on this one because evidently I didn't turn it off to not show up. I didn't realize that's what it was talking about. I thought it was saying that it was hide I thought it was the checkbox I checked was to hide the screen where you see what the camera sees, automatically. That's what I thought it was. Now that I realize, well, it doesn't do that. I have to manually do it. So anyway, what was I going to do? Oh, so get down here. And on this phone in particular, use it's pretty. They all seem to be pretty similar, but there we go. Get into the settings, and just realized those buttons are a big part of what I'm doing down at the bottom. There we go, developer options. Before I was able to use my left hand. I just hit the wrong thing though. Where'd it go? There it is, developer options. Okay, USB debugging. It's not selectable. Oh, when USB is connected. Uh, oh, so I can't do that. I can't turn it on without a USB connection. So then I might as well just do my transfer over USB. Because I was thinking, oh, so that only turns on. Yeah, that makes total sense now. Yeah, and of course I went through all those menus, and I know they didn't show up good with all the rubber bands and everything in the way, but I'm not going to go spend time doing that now. So, actually, I just realized I don't really even need to, for what I was trying to do, I don't need the USB. That wasn't what I was going to do. I was going to do it over SSH. Okay, so get this and put it back up there. Okay, oh, I'm still on the SM58. Okay, yeah, because I was afraid that moving this around, taking this in and out of there, I have all the cable, excess cable. This is 16-foot cable on this dual lapel mic, the new one. And then I have, I just went ahead and there was room, so I stuck my bags with all my, that's my old mic. Oh, that's my new mic. That's the extra connectors, adapters, and my old mic and its connectors. It still works, but it was cutting out a lot. I figured it was probably the cable, but I had already actually something went wrong with it, and I took it apart once already. It's only $10, so I went looking. I thought, well, I'll get another $10 mic, and it didn't sound super great. It was okay, but not good. And actually ended up finding this dual one that I liked for, I think it was $15. So I splurged and spent $5 more. Got this one. So I'm not going to get up and hook it all up again right now. It's actually not real comfortable wearing that thing around your waist. But it's very convenient when you want to move around like I did just a while ago. Oh, let's get this camera, and remember to put your mic back. All right, that'll be good enough. I can sit there and fiddle with that forever, trying to get it just where I want it. I like to have it just a little bit above that guitar back there behind me, but this will be fine. Okay, so now let's go to the desktop. And I don't think I need the browser open again right now. Okay, so did I mount that one? 194. I don't remember which one's 194 anymore. Yeah, phone 1 is 194. Luckily, I made those bookmarks. Okay. So I can go to, just go on this side to go to, oh yeah, you have to say open it in Crusader. That's the only that's a simple way to do it. Well, you can go find the folder actually, but I closed that already. So yeah, it's already, oh, that's the other phone. That's phone 2. It still has it says USB driver, but until I go and what I was showing in the other phone, go in there and turn on USB debugging. Of course, I already showed that the best I could before, but I'll right click and say open with other application. And it's still going to ask me to, whoops. Yeah, you can type and it finds it. And AGL link type files. I think if I said always do that, if I double clicked on it, it would open it up in KJ, but I might not always want that. I mean in Crusader. There's sometimes when you actually, it goes back and forth with these. So yeah, I'll do right. I'll just do it the way I did last time. Okay, now I'm in on my backup. Let's make sure I'm in the right thing. That's phone 3. So phone 1 is what I have mounted, right? So I need to mount phone 3. Yeah, I have phone 181. Okay. Oh, I didn't turn on the SSH server. Well, I've showed that a few times. I'm not going to show it again right now. So, just do it right quick. I don't have a good way to have everything, stay set up. I don't have room for all that sort of thing. So, I move things around a lot, and that gets to be really busy in the video. So I'm just starting up the SSH server, SSH droid 181.2.2.2. Okay, now that's there. So phone 3. Now we'll have both of them mounted up. Now see, it goes ahead and opens it up, but I don't want to do my copy now. Well, this doesn't have a good sync. It works differently, and I tried it anyway, and it failed on me, just like everything else did. By the way you do that the first time is you go places. This is in Fedora, or this is in Mate desktop, whatever Linux distro you were running. If you're running Mate desktop, it would be like this. Places, and then connect to server, and then you want to pick what kind of connection you want. All those different kinds there, and SSH is what I'm using, and that automatically goes to port 22. On these phones, you have to go ahead and change it to 2222 on SSH Droid. That's what port it uses, and put in your IP address and username and all that stuff. And I always click Add Bookmark and give it a name. So that's how I did that. And so since I'm already in that phone 3 or whatever it was I was in, see, now they're both in there. So 194 was the one I was in, and now 181 is the one I'm going to go to. We'll just double check that. Bookmarks. 181 is phone 3. So that's the one I want to go to. This should be phone 3 over here. Yeah, finally I get to where I can see it. I cannot stand the way they changed that up. Why would you change the normal, the way things are supposed to be written out? It always showed it with the forward slash and everything, to all these stupid little triangle things that take up with a space, triangle, space, so you can't read where you're really at. And then the further deeper you go in, it has to drop off where you're really at, what drive you're on and everything. I should investigate. There may be ways to set all that back to the way it used to be in the good old days. So anyway, we're in open camera, 32 gigabyte SD card on that side, and that's the one with the 0-byte file. I want to see. Okay, now we're in 181 DC. Oh, we got to go to mount. Well, that's one of the, there's a couple ways you can get there, but I want mount SD card. DC, I am open camera. There's nothing in there. Huh. Oh, you know what? I just now realized the date on that file, 7/11/16. I ain't gonna be getting that one back. That's a lost file. It might have been a bad video in the first place. Usually you get those 0-byte files because the video didn't work at all. It's usually not because of a bad SSH copy. Well, at least it didn't used to be until recently, because I do that all the time now. I just now realized this thing probably doesn't have anything in it that I need to back up, because I probably have not done any recordings on it since the last time. See, that's never had any IP webcam videos recorded on it. Doesn't even have the folders. So, yeah, DCIM is empty. I mean, it has the open camera folder, but that's it. Okay, so this over here, that one file can just be deleted. I think for a while there, I left them in there. I know I did. I remember I was leaving them in there, even though I knew they were there. I didn't think they would cause any trouble. I just wanted to know, like if I say to myself, where's that video? I know I made that video, and then I see it I can look by the dates and say, oh, there it is, and it's a bad video. So I was keeping, because I thought, well, they're just 0 bytes. They're not taking up any space, Not a good idea, because I didn't think about it screwing up your backup abilities. So now let's get out of that one. We want back into phone 1. And yeah, let's keep it on size like that. Okay. Yeah, kilobytes. No matter what you do, you still have to page, or you can use okay. So these don't have any 0 byte files. I deleted them, that's right. So actually, I probably want to leave it, just straight into the Strontium 64 gigabyte, and then I'll get on the USB this time. And there's different, if you want to know how to get there, then it is different. There's a way there you go. If you click up in there, now you can see it the way it should be. See why I'm griping? Now that makes sense. That other crap makes no sense. Run user 1000. That's where these things are mounted. One user 1000. What just happened here? That's not one user 1000. That's not it. I got myself out of the directory clicking around fast. That's not the one with the mounted. Oh, GVFS. There we go. Run user 1000 GVFS. That I was hunted for the GVFS folder. I knew that was the folder to look for, but it used to be dot. It was home don dot GVFS or something like that. That's what it used to be. And it's been moved at some point. Now in Fedora 28, it is in run user 1000. And this, I don't know, it could be a different number in different systems. I don't know. This is the only one I've found it in recently. Anyway, GVFS. And then now this is when they're mounted. That's where they're mounted to. Now, if you have the Bane system, I think they still do it like this. It's either going to be in media or mount. That was so easy to find, but I will say, being on the root directory of the whole system, it did give you headaches with file user permission problems, because the regular user had no permissions to read and write files in here. So if you wanted to make a folder to mount something in mount, MNT mount, you would have to go, you'd have to do it under root privileges, which was easy for me because I learned how to do it by just starting root. Crusader in root mode, you put in your root password, and then you can do whatever you need to do. But the pain would be is that if you forgot to do it ahead of time, then you try to mount something, you get mount errors, you're scratching your head, you better remember what needs to be done, But so there's no headaches as far as things mounting up automatically. But if you want to go find those folders, good luck, buddy. I did a whole file system search and never found it. I finally remembered that I could just right-click, open with other application, because I didn't want to open it with this. This file, I wanted to use the syncing abilities in Crusader, and I just like working in Crusader better. Trying to get back to where I was a while ago. There we go. Now this is for network drives. Mount, SS. That's where SFTP mounts are done. Now, if mounted it some other way, I don't know if it'd be in GVFS or not. Oh, the storm starting to come in. They said it might come in at 10 o'clock. It's 2:21 a.m. now. I just hope we don't get a bad storm and break my video. Okay, so I have to go and the place that while I'm showing where things are you in? No, I'm on the wrong place. Run media Dawn, and if you don't have anything mounted, see what. I think the media folder will be there, but the user Dawn, that's my username Dawn, won't be there unless you have something mounted. But I always have 8 terabyte and Seagate expansion drive. And see, the USB driver is mounted there, but since I haven't plugged in turned on the USB debugging, the rest of it's not. So now let me do that. And I guess I will go ahead and turn on the wireless mic. Turn on the wireless mic now if it's going to work. Yeah, I didn't mess it up. Okay. So I have to get this camera and turn on the USB. Let's see. First, let's get this. I'll just have to put this back on to get myself back in order. Is that going to be in the right place? There we go. Now, this one, well, I gotta leave it hooked up to the USB for sure. Okay. Now, I'm trying to not do something a little better than terrible, but I don't think that's going to happen. So, everything wants to fall. Yeah, get this guy here. Oh, I said I said that word that I hate. I hate to hear. This guy, that phrase that I hate. I love to hate. People. There's one guy that makes videos. This guy that makes videos that I like. And here's I'll see if I show it. Okay, now here's how I let's see if I can do it with one hand. Change mics. I don't know if I want to change mics, so do I? No, I won't be able to work like that. But anyway, that's how I do it. Control 3 and 4. I have shortcuts set up. And I have one set up for Control 2, but I'm not using that anymore. What was I doing with that? Another mics. Oh, the USB sound cards that I have. Okay, so what I was trying to do is get this, set it over here, and then I will put this camera under it. And not sure which way I need to go. There we go. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, USB. Turn on the USB. The cable's not reaching well enough. Okay, so yeah, go to settings. And see, now this one's got rubber bands on it too, but it's not quite as covered up as that other one was. Or is it? There it is, developer options. I think it's going to end up being closer to the top. USB debugging right there. The cable's plugged in. Why is it not? Oh, at the top. That's probably what was wrong with the other one. You got to turn it on at the top first. and that's intended for something use only. Development use only in cause your device and applications to break or misbehave. So you don't want to leave it on. And like I said, I know, well, it can be a security risk, especially, you know, it could be a bad security risk while you're running an SSH server, which I do, you know, so I always try to remember to turn it off. But that other one that I left on, I didn't want to go fiddling with it in the middle of my video, you know, but I do need to turn that off. I was probably writing myself a note. Stay awake. Let's see. Yeah, what did I just touch? Well, I must have hit that drop down thing again. Set backup password, that's what I hit. There we go. I'm trying to hit stay awake. There. I don't want to protect SD card. USB debugging, I want that. No, I don't want to revoke it. Okay. Intended for development. Yes, okay. Yeah, now it's on. You don't want to revoke it, then you can't turn any of that on anymore. And then the rest of that, I went through that, so there's not going to be anything else I want to do down there. And I guess I can try and show, if you want to know how to turn it on a lot of these phones anyways, Android 4.3, and I think it has to do not just with the operating system, but with the, you know, how your manufacturer set up your settings and all that. But about phone, you click that. Let's see. Oh yeah, you don't just click about phone. You go to, you know what? I can't remember. You'll have to look it up. You go to one of the particular menus in here, I think, and you keep clicking it until it says, okay, now you're a debugger. Watch out what you're doing and have fun. It says something like that. Have fun at the end of it. Okay, now. Hopefully this one will do what the other one did and automatically mount our, it's got all these images in there. Whoops. Sometimes that stuff can, SSH Droid is running. I don't see anything about, let's go see if it's on my computer already. Yep, nope. No, it didn't mount it up yet. So I don't know, maybe if I unplug the USB and plug it back in. I might not have had it plugged in last time when I did this. Let's go back to the endoscope. Yeah, I don't see the place to, I don't know why all those image download things are even there. I think they've been there forever and they're just not going away. But there's still not, I don't think there's anything left under that. Oh, yes, there is. So maybe they're down there at the bottom of all that. Yeah, that's something that I don't even know why it's there. I didn't surf and download those myself. I guess if I opened them up to see what they are, I might find out something. But there it is, very bottom. USB connected, USB debugging connected. Okay, this one at that one. Now I can pick what I want, which is the one in the middle, and that doesn't page, so I got to get through those rubber bands. Did I get it? Yeah. Okay. Now we're going to minimize it. Go to the desktop. Oh, it says Android and has a picture of a phone. How cool. And that other thing went away. See, they each the same model, same operating system, but they still, each one acts just a little bit different. Probably something to do with, I like to say that icon, I would say could very well be to do with, well, but I've used the same all-in-one toolbox app to clean it up for all these years, 3 years I've had them. You know, it could have maybe deleted some icons or something that shouldn't have been. Those kind of apps can do that. But where's the other? Why did the go away? Why did the can't say it? Why did the other one? You know, the thing for you to stayed. Now it's raining. The thing for the with the drivers stayed, and this time it's gone, but there's a new icon, which I'm assuming is what I'm hoping for. Let's double click on it and make sure. Okay. And I need to get off this mic because I just listened to my sound on my stream and it sounded to me like it was way behind. Okay, internal storage and SD card. Oh, it's got them both. Now, see, now this time you're getting them both. I'll be dang. I think I clicked on the same one. We on desktop? Yeah. Let me switch. Just to make sure I'm doing what I should be doing. Okay, now we're on the SM58. Okay, so that means I can back up my internal storage and my over an SD card. Let's see. Yep. Now, explain that to me, Lucy. I have no idea why those are both there now, but they weren't before. Now, let's see if I can. That's not showing anything right now. Let's see if it will. Huh. All right, let's try it this way. We're going to do the right click and open in another application and do Crusader. Yeah, that wasn't an echo. That was me checking my sound. Oh. There we go. Oh, look. Root, run, user, root. Run user. That put it in a whole different place from the other one. Why did it do that? It is in, okay, it's not in root. It's the root directory of the file system, but not the user root. See, that fools you. That's why another reason why I cannot stand the way they started doing that. I really need to try to figure out how to change that. Surely you could go back to the old way, to the right way. This is the right way. Why do they want to give different names to the standard folders in a file system? Okay, run user, yeah, that's the same thing, and it gave it, you know, a temporary or an auto-generated folder name and all that. Yeah, so I have all that. So now I can open. There we go. Whoops. Don't be impatient. So we'll go to the SD card. And so I'm going to go ahead and close this to give the computer. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't lose that. Okay, now where am I on this one? Phone 1. I need on phone 3, don't I? No, I do need on phone 1. Okay, that was phone 1. This time I'm looking at it, so I know. Phone 1. Now let's see. DC. I want to see if I have any. I think I've got myself confused jumping around from one phone to the other. Oh, okay.